Hi guys, Blake here with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Monday, February the 22nd, and I'm going to do the one cast for you today. Today I've boated up here near the dam. Let's see, more specifically, I'm about 100 yards above the boat ramp on the south side, right behind this giant sycamore that's down over here in the water. There's kind of a big flat right here. They're running a half unit of water, maybe just a touch more. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. Beautiful sunny day, 55 degrees. I've been wearing a t-shirt all day. I only put on a sweatshirt for the boat ride up here. Today I'm going to be throwing a Temple Fork Axiom 2 5-weight 9-foot 4-piece rod. That is one that we sell up in the shop. Got a rudder 5-weight reel to go with that, and some of the rudder fly line, I believe, there. Let's see, this looks like a size 12, kind of maybe a tan, actually, tan scud there. It's about 12 inches before the split shot. I'm going to be using a heavier split shot today. That's about the size of an AB split shot. I got that about 3 foot underneath a medium-sized indicator, and that looks like it's on 5X tippet. And what I'm going to do today, I'm actually going to kind of try to keep the boat spot locked for the most part and work my way down this flat. I'm going to set this just a little deeper. And what I'm going to do, Phil was just up here fishing not too long ago, and he said that he spot locked behind this tree and kept the boat in spot lock and cast it up and let it drift past him, and he said they were biting the scud really good here on this flat. So we are gonna try that. With a half unit of water running, even if you don't have spot lock, this is definitely an area where you could use an anchor, especially, you know, back behind a tree like this. All right, nothing on the first cast. So I'm casting up, I'm immediately mending my line over. That's what you see me doing right there. Flipping my line, keeping the current from taking it. It's been a while since I spot locked and mended. My mending skills might be a little rusty today. I'm even, as it flows down past the boat, giving a little extra line to increase the time of my drift there. And sometimes I'll let it pull completely tight, which causes the scud to kind of swing out and back around. And sometimes you'll get some fish right as that scud is swinging. You use the heavier weight because you're not flowing with the current, you're kind of going against it. So in order to get the scud down where it needs to be for the length of time that you have it in the water, you use that heavier scud. This is another thing you can do is kind of keep your rod tip up. That'll help you set the hook when it's time. And it is not very deep over here, so that's the reason I only have it set at about 3 foot. be afraid to mend that line. Moving the scud a little bit is not going to hurt anything. In fact, it'll kind of make it look like it's darting and trying to get away. I'm going to scoot the boat down just a little bit. Beautiful day here on the lake. Lots of people coming in and renting boats for the day. Oh Lord. Okay. Gotta be careful with that trolling motor. Also, something else that can happen if you're not careful, something that just happened to me, and that is your split shot. If it's not crimped on there properly, or it comes loose, it can slide down. You do not want that to happen. I'm actually going to tie a little knot here right below the split shot so that it can't slide. That'll help out a little bit. Now let's say that I was just drifting in the boat and not using spot lock. I would probably be using a much smaller weight in a half unit, more like a number 1 size split shot or a BB sized split shot, because that is all it would need to get to the bottom if you were moving with the current. But because we're spot locking, you need something to get to the bottom quickly because you only got a short drift period. Let's see, talked to Tony Lilley a second ago. He had a guide trip today. He said that they came up top first. They drifted egg patterns. Ooh, that was a fish. Drifted egg patterns and scuds so that they caught some fish, kind of drifting those, but that the fish seemed a little picky up here today. And he said they went down kind of by the landing. And they found a lot more fish ready to bite down there. I would assume using jigs, and I'm not sure if he fished the egg pattern down there or not, but I'm pretty sure they were fishing jigs down there. There's quite a heavy wind blowing down the lake right now, making it just a little hard to cast upstream, a little hard to mend the line. So this is a size 12 scud. Now, Phil said it was working fairly well for him, but I do know that when I come out here and drift scuds in those half unit flows, that sometimes the smaller scuds seem to work a little better for me. And I do have one rod rigged up with size 14 and 16 scud on a double rig. I rigged one up for spot locking and I rigged one up for drifting, just in case I don't have any luck spot locking here, which so far I'm not doing too good of a job of it. Well, we're going to drift down a little farther. Maybe the fish are a little farther down this way. You do want to make sure that you're seeing that bobber kind of get tugged on a little bit by the bottom. That will ensure that you're getting it down there. This wind should be helping me out actually today. Keeping some riffles on the water, keeping the visibility down. You gotta watch this side over here. It is very shallow whenever they're only running a half unit, and if you're not careful and the wind tugs on you, you might just wind up beached. Well, I thought I had a fish, but I think I found the bottom. Alright, well, looks like I have no choice but to switch over to my double scud rig with the smaller scuds, because that is broken. Alright. So let's see. Here I've actually got 6X tippet from the bottom of the weight to my two flies. I've got a size 14 rainbow scud and a size 16 rainbow scud. And I've got that set at about the same depth under the indicator. I'm actually going to scoot down just a little farther because I do not want to get hooked on that same log again. I can see where I got snagged a second ago. That should be far enough. wind is blowing from the west today, which is super exciting. For those of you who don't know how the accumulations of shad get brought over, is usually because a westward wind blows them towards the dam. So if all the conditions are right and that westward wind's blowing up on Table Rock, it should theoretically blow the fish towards the dam, which could mean a shad kill coming through the generators. Last night, well, all of yesterday, they had the water turned off, which was different from what the schedule said should have been happening. But me and a friend went up and waited for a while last night. And I threw a black pine squirrel streamer on my 5-weight fly rod. No sinking leader, just about a 3-foot piece of 2X tippet tied to my fly line. You don't want it to sink too much, especially if there's no water running. You want that fly to just kind of swing real slowly, and what little current does exist when the water's off. And did fairly well. Oh, that was a bunch of moss there. So what I'm gonna do is try to prevent that moss from getting on there again. I'm just gonna shorten my leader length up a little bit. See if that helps the drift any at all. Last night I fished just a little bit above outlet 2, maybe 50 yards above outlet 2, walked out to about thigh deep water and kind of cast it into a little deeper hole there. That's where I caught most of my fish with the streamer. And then I actually got out, walked down to outlet 3 and crossed the stream and went back up to the island and fished across from outlet 2. There's kind of another deep little hole out there, and that's where I caught the rest of my fish last night. If you ever get a chance to fish with the water off, it is a lot of fun at night. We're gonna scoot down here just a little bit more. If I can't find a fish doing this, I'm just gonna let the boat drift and see if I can get one drifting. Maybe Phil caught them all. I think that's totally possible. I'll spot like right here for just a minute or two, see if this spot's any different, and if not, I'm gonna hop out and drift to the end of Trophy Run Island. Trying to be careful. I'm pretty close to the bank here. It'd be easy to backswing and catch a tree. Okay, I give up on this one. I'm gonna get my other rod out with the same setup basically as this. It's got a size 14 and a size 16, but it's got a #1 split shot instead of this heavy split shot, and we're just gonna kind of drift our way down to the end of the island here. Alright, so got our split shot #1, 2 small scuds, and we're gonna drift. I'm gonna set this a little deeper, probably around, oh, let's say 7 foot. Looks like the wind's starting to die down. Wow. And I can see my bobber getting tugged on a little bit, so that #1 split shot is getting down where it needs to be at. And when you're drifting, sometimes you need to still mend your line a little bit, especially if your current speed and the boat speed aren't aligning properly. So usually when I drift double scuds, the length that I set the scuds apart from each other and the weight apart from the scuds depends on how fast the water's flowing. If the water is going faster, I separate the flies farther apart, and I put the weight farther above those. If the water's running slower, then I shorten the distance between the flies and I put the weight a little bit closer to the first fly. So right now I've got these scuds separated by about 8 inches or so, and I've got that weight about another 8 to 10 inches above the top fly. And kind of a cool sight going on down here. We actually have 3 pelicans sitting in the water over here, and whenever we get close to them, I'll scoot the camera around. I actually didn't know that pelicans came to this lake. I didn't see any last year at all, but we saw one just the other day on tournament day when we were taking pictures for the tournament. And I thought maybe it was just a lost one, but there are 3 of them together right here at at Trophy Run Island. I'm just gonna pull this up and make sure I don't have any moss on my scuds. Oh, that was a fish. Those pelicans are such a big bird. I'd never seen one in person until just the other day. Oh, finally. I might get to see what a fish looks like today. Kind of curious which scud he took there. Looks like he took the size 16 scud. Oh, he got away before I could get him up for the camera. And my fly line just wrapped around everything possible it could have there. Oh, come on now. Wow. There we go. don't know if you can see those pelicans over there. Spin the boat around a little bit. This flat that we're going over right now, across Trophy Run Island, would be another good spot to stop and spot lock the boat and do that same thing I was doing up there. I guess those pelicans didn't like me getting too close to them because they kind of scooted away as we got closer. It almost seemed to me that they have shut the water down a little farther. I'm seeing some drop on the bank line. Alright, I'm going to throw this out there one more time and then I'm calling it a day. Oh, well, lots of information and not as many fish to see today, but we do thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll get out here and do it for you again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.